Welcome back, everybody. It's time for episode 9 of our Marketing Deep Dive series, and we're going to switch things up just a bit today.
Yeah, that's right. Instead of going through a whole bunch of different articles today, we're going to take this one fictional case study,
Oh, interesting.
the story of LuxeGuard,
Okay.
to really explore all the different facets of building a really successful brand.
So like a greatest hits of marketing all in one case study.
Exactly. Think of
Yeah.
it as like a highlight reel
Okay.
of all the essential elements of marketing, all wrapped up in this journey
Cool.
of a company that went from just a simple idea
Yeah.
to a global phenomenon.
And I'm assuming we'll uncover how they did it.
Absolutely. We're going to unpack it chapter by chapter
Okay.
and extract those golden nuggets of insight that you can apply to your own ventures.
All right, so are you ready for this marketing masterclass?
Let's dive in.
Let's jump right in. Chapter 9. The LuxeGuard Legacy.
Oh.
I know we're starting at the end.
Starting at the end.
But trust me, this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
LuxeGuard, as you might have guessed, becomes a global leader
Yes.
in premium tech accessories.
Yes.
But how did they get there?
That's what we're going to unpack.
Okay.
And it all starts with a vision. Rewind to chapter 1. The visionary CEO.
Ooh, I like this.
Picture Maya Patel sipping coffee in a London cafe,
Okay.
sketching out her dream.
I love it already.
She wants to create tech accessories that are stylish, sustainable, and anything but boring.
Okay, I'm intrigued already.
Yeah.
But having a vision is one thing, building a company's another. How did she go from sketches in a cafe to a full-fledged business?
Well, she knew she couldn't do it alone.
Right.
So Maya brought in Sam Clark to handle operations and Elena Romero,
Okay.
a marketing whiz,
Yeah.
to really connect with customers.
Yeah.
And they came up with a company motto that would guide their journey.
Ooh, a motto. I like it. What is it?
Protect what matters with style and substance.
Protect what matters with style and substance. That speaks volumes. That tells me they're not just selling cases, they're selling a lifestyle of feeling. But to really nail that, they had to know their customer inside and out right.
Absolutely. Chapter 2, Understanding the Customer.
Okay.
LuxeGuard decided to use online surveys.
So a tried and true method.
But here's the twist. They didn't just ask basic demographic questions.
Right.
They delved deeper, asking about lifestyle preferences, pain points with existing tech accessories, and even design aesthetics.
So they weren't just collecting data, they were gathering insights. What kind of gold did they unearth from those surveys?
Well, they discovered that customer preferences varied widely across demographics. For example, younger customers craved slim, fashionable cases,
Okay.
while professionals prioritized durability and functionality.
Makes sense.
LuxeGuard also uncovered a surprising demand for eco-friendly options, which became a cornerstone of their brand identity.
Wow. That's a powerful reminder for anyone in business. Don't assume you know your customer. Ask the right questions. Dig deeper, and you'll uncover insights that can shape your entire strategy.
Exactly. Oh, I like it.
And that's precisely what LuxeGuard did in Chapter 3. Market segmentation in action.
Okay.
Armed with these insights, Elena, their marketing expert, got to work segmenting their audience.
So we're talking about going beyond just age and location.
Right, they went
Okay,
granular.
yeah.
Creating segments based on lifestyle tech usage habits and even design preferences.
Okay.
This allowed them to tailor their marketing messages for maximum impact.
Can you give me an example of how they put this segmentation into practice?
Well, they noticed a segment of young, fashion-conscious professionals on Instagram who were all about expressing their individuality.
Yeah.
To reach them, they launched the Blossom series.
Ooh, the Blossom series.
A line of vibrant floral pattern phone cases.
Yes.
And partnered with influencers.
To showcase how these cases could be an extension of their personal style.
That's brilliant. Sounds like they really understood how to speak the language of their target audience.
They did. And it wasn't just about aesthetics. LuxeGuard knew that this segment cared about sustainability, so they made sure to highlight the eco-friendly materials
Of course.
used in the Blossom series.
Smart.
This resonated deeply with those customers and set them apart from competitors.
So they were hitting on all cylinders, appealing to both the emotional and practical desires of their target market. That's some next-level marketing savvy.
It is. And that brings us to Chapter 4, which focuses on how LuxeGuard stayed ahead of the curve.
Okay.
They understood that in the ever-evolving tech world, resting on their laurels was not an option.
Right.
So they embraced continuous research,
Right.
both primary and secondary.
Okay, let's break that down. What do we mean by primary and secondary research in this context?
Primary research means going directly to the source.
Got it.
So for LuxeGuard, this meant using focus groups,
Focus groups.
bringing in real customers
Okay,
to provide feedback on prototypes.
I like it.
This is actually how their best-selling product,
Okay.
the LuxeCover Air, was born.
Ooh, tell me more.
So in these focus groups, participants expressed desire for wireless charging compatibility,
Makes sense.
a feature that most competitors were neglecting at the time.
Uh-huh.
LuxeGuard listened, adapted, and boom!
Wow, so they actually incorporated real-time customer feedback into their product development process.
Yeah.
That's a game changer. But what about the secondary research part?
So secondary research involves analyzing existing data.
Okay.
So think industry reports,
Mm.
trend analysis, that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Got it.
LuxeGuard was all over that. They were voracious consumers
Love it.
of industry reports and trend analyses.
Good.
This is how they spotted the rising demand for tech accessories with built-in security features.
Ah, so they were keeping an eye on the bigger picture, anticipating what their customers might want, even before they knew it themselves.
Exactly. And this proactive approach
Uh-huh.
led them to develop the LuxeBag Elite,
Ooh, the LuxeBag Elite.
a high-end laptop bag with tracking features
Oh, wow.
that became a hit
Yeah.
with business travelers worried about theft.
That makes sense. So they were constantly gathering data, listening to their customers, and looking for ways to innovate.
And that commitment to staying ahead of the curve was a key factor in their success.
Okay, so we've got vision understanding of the customer market segmentation and continuous research. What's next on LuxeGuard's journey to global domination?
Well, they had all the ingredients for success,
Right.
but they still needed to put it all together in a cohesive strategy. And that's where the classic marketing mix comes in.
Ah, yes, the 4 Ps, product, price, promotion, and
The
place.
4 Ps.
I have a feeling LuxeGuard didn't just skim the surface with these.
You're right. Let's dive into Chapter 5, the marketing mix in motion,
Okay,
and see how LuxeGuard brought these principles to life.
this is where it gets really interesting. Let's break down each P, starting with product. We know they were all about stylish, durable, and eco-friendly offerings, but what were some of their standout products?
Well, their flagship product, the LuxeShield Pro, was a prime example
Okay,
of how they nailed the product element.
okay,
It wasn't just a phone case, it was a statement piece.
okay.
They used premium, eco-friendly materials,
Love it.
ensured a slim yet protective design,
Yeah.
and offered a variety of colors and finishes to appeal to different tastes.
So they were thinking beyond just functionality, tapping into the emotional aspect of owning a LuxeGuard product. But quality comes at a price, right? What was their pricing strategy like?
They were strategic about it.
Okay.
For the LuxeShield Prey and other premium offerings,
Mhm.
they used a price skimming strategy.
Good stealing.
They launched at a higher price point,
Wow.
targeting early adopters who were willing to pay a premium
Yeah,
for quality and innovation.
that makes sense. But I imagine not all their products were priced at the top tier. How did they balance catering to a more budget-conscious audience?
For their more standard offerings,
Yeah.
like the LuxeCover line,
Yeah.
they adopted a cost-plus pricing strategy,
Yeah.
ensuring they made a profit while keeping the prices accessible to a wider range of customers.
So they had different pricing approaches for different product lines and target segments. Makes perfect sense. But even with amazing products and a smart pricing strategy, you still need to get the word out right. Which brings us to the final P, place or distribution.
And they were smart about this too. LuxeGuard adopted a multi-channel distribution strategy.
Multi-channel, what does that mean in this case?
They sold directly through their website,
Okay.
partnered with high-end retailers like Harrods,
I'm fancy.
and even established relationships with wholesalers
Okay.
to get their products into boutique stores.
So they covered all the bases, making sure their products were accessible to their target customers wherever they'd shopped.
Exactly. It was a comprehensive approach that ensured maximum reach and brand visibility.
Okay, so we've covered the 4 Ps, product, price, promotion, and place. What I'm seeing here is a company that's not just doing marketing, they're living and breathing it.
Yeah.
Every decision is strategic, deliberate, and aligned with their overall vision.
And that's a key takeaway right there. You can't just throw things at the wall and hope something sticks.
Right.
You need a cohesive marketing strategy that works in harmony, just like LuxeGuard did.
Agreed. But even with the best strategy in place, You have to manage your product portfolio effectively. Right? Not every product is going to be a winner, and sometimes you have to make tough decisions.
That's right, and that's precisely what we'll explore in the next part of our LuxeGuard deep dive. We'll see how they used a clever tool called the Boston Matrix
Ooh, the Boston Matrix.
to analyze their product portfolio
Okay.
and make strategic decisions about which products to invest in, maintain,
Right.
or even phase out.
Now that's what I call a cliffhanger. I can't wait to unpack that in the next part of our marketing masterclass.
Welcome back. It's fascinating to see how LuxeGuard built such a solid foundation with their marketing strategy. They didn't just stumble into success, they carefully crafted it.
Right. They knew their customer, segmented their market, and nailed the 4 Ps of marketing. But now comes the tricky part, managing that product portfolio as the company grows and the market changes.
Exactly, and that's where Chapter 6 comes in. The product life cycle, it's like a roadmap for every product from its birth all the way through to its inevitable decline.
So walk me through this roadmap. What are the stages of the product life cycle?
Well, it starts with research and development. That's the brainstorming and prototyping phase. Then comes the introduction where the product hits the market and you're trying to generate buzz and early adopters.
Right, and then hopefully you move into the growth phase where sales start to climb.
Precisely. This is where you see rapid adoption, positive reviews, and hopefully some word-of-mouth marketing magic happening.
But what about when things start to slow down? What happens when a product reaches maturity?
That's where things get interesting. You have to find ways to keep the product relevant, maybe introduce new colors, limited edition designs, or even slight feature updates. LuxeGuard was brilliant at this. They constantly refreshed their product lines, ensuring continued appeal even for mature products.
So they weren't afraid to tweak and iterate to extend the life of their products.
Exactly. But they also understood that not all products last forever. Eventually, even the most successful products enter the decline phase.
That must be a tough pill to swallow, seeing your one-star product lose its shine.
It is, but LuxeGuard had a plan for that too. They knew when to gracefully retire products, shifting focus and resources to newer, more promising offerings. It's about recognizing when to let go to make room for new growth.
So they had a strategy for every stage of the product life cycle, from nurturing new products to gracefully phasing out those that had run their course. But how did they keep track of it all, especially as their product portfolio grew?
That's where Chapter 7 comes in. Managing the product portfolio, LuxeGuard used a tool called the Boston Matrix, which is a brilliant way to visualize and analyze your product portfolio's performance.
Okay, break it down for me. What is this Boston Matrix and how did LuxeGuard use it?
Imagine a graph with 4 quadrants. Each quadrant represents a different type of product based on market share and growth potential. You've got your stars, high growth, high market share. These are your rock star products like LuxeGuard's LuxeCover Air.
The bestsellers, the ones bringing in the big bucks. But what about those products that are steady earners, but not necessarily experiencing explosive growth?
Those are your cash cows. Think of LuxeGuard's LuxeBag Pro, their high-end laptop bag. It generated consistent revenue, but its growth had plateaued.
So the cash cows are the reliable workhorses keeping the business stable. What about those products that are a bit of a gamble? They have potential, but also carry some risk.
Those would be your question marks. LuxeGuard's line of smartwatch straps fell into this category. They were trendy, but competition was fierce. It was unclear whether they would become stars or fade away.
Ah, the wild cards. And then there are the products that are, well, let's just say they've seen better days.
Those are your dog's products, with low market share and low growth potential. LuxeGuard had a few of those, like their outdated tablet sleeves. They weren't generating much revenue, and it was time to consider phasing them out.
So LuxeGuard used the Boston Matrix to categorize each product, giving them a clear picture of their portfolio's strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly. It helped them make strategic decisions. They poured resources into their stars, nurtured their cash cows, carefully evaluated their question marks, and gracefully retired their dogs.
That's some next-level portfolio management,
Right.
but even with the best planning, no business journey is without its challenges.
True. And LuxeGuard faced their fair share of bumps in the road.
I bet. I can only imagine the headaches that come with success, especially in a competitive market like tech accessories. What were some of the biggest hurdles they faced?
Well, Chapter 8 Challenges and Adaptation dives into that. One major issue was copycats. LuxeGuard's innovative designs and success attracted unwanted attention. Competitors started churning out cheap knockoffs, trying to ride their wave.
Oh, I can't stand copycats. It's so frustrating to see someone else profit from your hard work and creativity. How did LuxeGuard handle that?
They took a multi-pronged approach. First, they got serious about protecting their intellectual property. They filed patents for their unique designs, making it harder for competitors to legally replicate them.
Smart move. But patents alone can't solve everything, right?
Right, so they also focused on staying ahead of the game. They knew they couldn't rest on their laurels, so they doubled down on innovation, constantly iterating and improving their products.
So it was a combination of legal protection and relentless innovation that helped them fend off the copycats. Were there any other challenges that tested LuxeGuard's adaptability?
They also realized that their initial focus on premium products, while successful, limited their market reach. They were missing out on a whole segment of budget-conscious consumers.
That's a tough spot to be in, wanting to maintain your premium brand identity while also appealing to a wider market. How did they navigate that?
They got creative. They launched the LightGuard series, a line of tech accessories that offered a balance of quality and affordability. They used slightly less expensive materials and simplified designs, making the products more accessible without compromising their core values of style and durability.
So they found a way to cater to a broader audience without diluting their brand. That's impressive.
Yeah.
But I imagine expanding globally brought a whole new set of challenges.
Absolutely. Breaking into new markets, each with its own cultural nuances and consumer expectations, is no easy feat.
Did LuxeGuard ever stumble during their global expansion? What were some of the lessons they learned?
One key lesson was the importance of cultural sensitivity. They learned that what worked in one market didn't necessarily translate to another. For example, they discovered that their minimalist designs, which were a hit in Europe, needed some tweaks for the Japanese market, which had a preference for bolder colors and patterns.
So they had to adapt their designs and marketing messages to resonate with different cultural tastes. Did they ever face any pushback or resistance as they expanded into new territories?
They encountered some initial skepticism from retailers in Asia who were hesitant to partner with a relatively unknown brand. LuxeGuard overcame this by showcasing their commitment to quality and sustainability values that resonated deeply with Asian consumers. They also partnered with local influencers and tastemakers to build credibility and trust.
So they were strategic about building relationships and adapting their approach to each market's unique landscape. It sounds like they were constantly learning and evolving as they expanded their global footprint.
And that's what set them apart. They weren't afraid to make mistakes, to learn from them, and to adjust their strategy accordingly.
It's inspiring to see how they navigated these challenges, always finding a way to overcome obstacles and emerge even stronger. It sounds like their success wasn't just about having great products. It was about their unwavering commitment to adaptability and continuous learning.
Exactly. And that's a key takeaway for any business, regardless of industry or size. The ability to adapt, to evolve, to embrace change. That's what separates the thriving businesses from those that get left behind.
It's incredible to think back on everything LuxeGuard managed to do, from that little idea in a London cafe to becoming this global brand.
It really shows you what's possible when you have a strong vision and a willingness to adapt.
Thinking back to their global expansion and some of those early missteps, it really highlights the importance of thorough market research. It sounds like they did a good job gathering data and insights, but even then, they still had to pivot and make adjustments along the way.
Definitely. They were constantly testing and learning and refining their approach based on real-world feedback from different markets. Remember those early designs they tried to introduce in Japan? That was a real learning curve for them.
Oh, yeah. Those minimalist designs that did so well in Europe just didn't resonate with Japanese consumers who preferred bolder colors and patterns. It's a great example of how even the most successful companies can't just assume they know what will work in every market.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to adapt your strategies based on those cultural nuances and the feedback you're getting.
Exactly. And I think that's a key takeaway for anyone in business. You can never do too much research, but you also have to be prepared to learn and adjust as you go, especially when expanding into new territories.
It's like they say, the map is not the territory. You can plan all you want, but you have to be ready to adjust course as you go.
You got it. And LuxeGuard's a perfect example of that. They weren't afraid to admit when something wasn't working and make changes accordingly. They saw those missteps as valuable learning opportunities, not failures.
And that's a big part of what set them apart. They were really data-driven, but they also had this knack for sensing the pulse of the market and adjusting their approach as needed. It was this really interesting balance of analytical thinking and creative intuition.
Totally agree. It wasn't just about number crunching. They also had a deep understanding of that human element, the emotional drivers behind consumer behavior.
We talked a lot about LuxeGuard's marketing savvy and adaptability.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to remember that their success wasn't just about clever tactics. It was also about their unwavering commitment to their core values.
Absolutely. Their dedication to sustainability, their focus on high quality, their passion for design, those values were woven into everything they did. It wasn't just marketing, it was a genuine reflection of who they were as a company.
And that's what made them so compelling to customers.
Yeah.
They could sense that authenticity, and it resonated with them on a deeper level.
As we wrap up this deep dive into the LuxeGuard story, I'm really struck by just how much they accomplished in a relatively short amount of time. They went from a startup in a London cafe to a global brand in just a few years.
It's pretty remarkable, right? It makes you wonder what's next for them. What kind of legacy will LuxeGuard leave?
I think their legacy will be one of innovation, adaptability, and a deep understanding of the power of strong brand values. They've raised the bar for other companies in the tech accessory market, and I'm excited to see what they do next.
Me too.
Sure.
It's been really inspiring unpacking their story. Hopefully, our listeners have picked up some valuable insights they can apply to their own ventures.
I hope so. A huge thanks to Google Notebook LM for the audio and AI assistance that makes these deep dives possible.
This episode was a PLC strategy production. Until next time.